trouble it would take to hit you. You're not worth the powder it would take to blow you. You are an empty.
What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, we got a lot of voicemails that we're going to get through. So, going to listen to those and maybe talk about a few other random things. So, all this and more on the first Black History Month episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. Pew, 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 pew. Did I say Black O Podcast? I don't know.
That's what it sounded like.
Blackout. Cool, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 149 of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. I'm Jared.
What's up? I'm Jake.
And we are back at it again. Jay, how was your week, man?
Busy. As always.
Yeah.
Just insanely busy at work. Lots of things going on. Mm-hmm. Won another award at work, so that was pretty cool.
Congratulations!
Didn't expect that. Yeah.
Was it like the best animation project or the best layout on a marketing trifold?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't do that. But yeah, no, it was just cool. Just the company won a lot of stuff, so I guess I was part of that team.
Cool.
Doing that particular thing. So
good job.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, but that just busy, man. Kids, school, work, trying to figure out what to do for spring break with these kids coming up next month. So yeah, that, just all the usual family issues, family problems, family shenanigans,
family fun.
Family fun. It's always fun in this side of the neighborhood.
That's fun.
Other than that, it was cool, man. How's it going in your neck of the woods?
Man, just busy as always. Just family things, kids in school. Just the regular stuff. That's about it. Regular stuff. That's about it. Yeah, I was finally able to get Hooks, Rubs, and Spices into this one store that I've been, we've been doing, like the longest, we had done the longest game of phone and voicemail tag and text tag. You can imagine, was finally able to get it done. So it's another store up here that has 2 locations, but they're locations that are in different places than the other stores that I've already sold through. So these are going to go into, one is like a more established neighborhood,
right.
With a wide range of people that live there, wide age range of people that live there. And then another one is sort of more downtown, centralized in one of, I guess, sort of like an outdoor, what do you call it? Like an outdoor mall, where they get some foot traffic between festivals and mall traffic, etc. So
that's good.
Yeah, and this store is seen as, one of those stores that's sort of like a specialty grocery store when it comes to having like things that you may not find at a regular grocery store, but they also have regular groceries, and then they have a lot of stuff that is local. Like they're big on, they're big on buy local, shop local. So it's a really good, opportunity to hop into there and see how it sort of goes there. And been reached out to by some more people, in different parts of the country. So I'm going to look into that, as it comes. But yeah, just that, and then I did have an appearance this week on the local Fox News affiliate, or not Fox News, but Fox TV station affiliate, and doing one of their daytime shows, and did a recipe for the trash can nachos as a Super Bowl recipe. So that was a great time. Got to take my daughter this time around to watch the show and to help me out, and she was very helpful and get me prepped for the show. So yeah, it was a good time. Trash can nachos came out, pretty darn great, flavor wise, and also the appearance wise on TV. They said it really popped. So yeah, Sweet. So it was a good deal, man. It was a good deal. So
oh man, so obviously we didn't have a show last week, but so I think I mentioned my kid had won first place in the science fair
Yeah.
some time ago. Yeah,
That's right.
So he had like his district or regional fair up in Dallas last weekend. Let me tell you something, man. So after the first science fair, we were wondering. We were like, okay, we need to take our project home. But no, teachers were like, we'll keep it here. We're gonna, we're gonna ship it off to the next location when that happens. Like, okay, cool. Day before or 2 days before the science fair happens, this regional fair, what do you know? The school contacts us and says, hey, we misplaced your kid's science fair as well as all the other kids' science fair projects.
Wow.
So they're going to need to stay after school the next day so they could redo the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, no. Like, how does this even happen? So I had to scramble. I emailed the teacher and I'm like, no, we'll just redo it at home because I got all the materials. I got all the stuff here. And it's just like super irresponsible on their part to
to misplace that stuff.
And I know I told them, I was like, are you sure you want to leave this at school? You don't want us to take this home? And they're like, no, we got it. We'll keep it here. Nah, that didn't happen. Wow. So we had to scramble. Got it done, redone. Same project, but obviously, my kid was completely out of it. He didn't want to have nothing to do with the science fair project at all. So he didn't advance. It's cool. He didn't care, But man, I was just amazed by it. There's this one little girl, little Indian girl, and she was winning every single thing. Oh, yeah. Every single thing at the fair, man. And I was surprised. I wasn't surprised, but it was all girls that practically won. Maybe two boys that actually won at the whole thing. Yeah, and it was just it was good to see that many girls, are kind of doing things in science. But at the same time, I was just like kind of over it as far as like the school losing the kids.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, I think what I don't know. Well, I think sometimes it's hard to realize. I think girls are a lot more mentally mature in some, at that stage. Maybe like that 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old range, somewhere in there. They I don't know, for some reason, it just seems like girls are a little bit smarter. But that doesn't mean that, a boy can't do it, and that doesn't mean a girl can't do it. But I think their mind is just a little bit further along for some reason. And so I guess I'm not totally surprised. And I think it's a good thing. And one way or the other, the science fair project is always sort of a balance of, how much a kid actually does compared to how much the parent does. Or to help them out. So in some cases, it may have been that too. But that's cool. But then again, I can totally understand on your part. Like, man, y'all have already, put in the work, done the research, did the project, printed all the materials, presented the whole thing, completed it, and then now you got to basically, almost do all that over again. Even though, like you said, you still had the info. It's a good thing you didn't delete all that stuff.
It's a good thing. Yeah, because I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but they should get like an automatic ages for them losing the project. So,
yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing, the other thing is like, it's definitely an irresponsible thing on the school's part because, and I'm sure they've done that before. I'm sure that's the thing they probably do, like every year where they just like, okay, the science fair winners, we'll just move your stuff on over here. But like, how does that, I don't know, how does that ball get dropped? I don't know. Like, you got to have somebody, the science teachers or whoever it is, basically, since it's going to this contest in a week or two, put all the stuff in a box, in its own specific box, make sure it's packed well, whatever it is, and tagged to go along with the specific project to get there, And maybe it's one of these things, man. Maybe, back in the day, some parents didn't, some parents took it home and forgot pieces or something like that, for the next stage of the fair. And so they're like, oh, well, we'll just keep them all from now on, and we'll ship them, blah blah blah, so they don't ever have to go back home. I don't know, man. That's horrible, man. It's just a lot of extra stuff to have to do all over again. But yeah, man, shout out to your boy for doing well enough to pass through the school level. Get to that next level up. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. My son did the science fair last year. And I think he had a fairly good project, even though I think it was sort of a hard project to prove at this time of year. But he did well. But yeah, this year he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to do one again." So what was your kid's project on?
On how different liquids react to Alka-Seltzer to kind of like ignite and make a bottle rocket.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a recap for everybody who didn't know. That's cool. Sweet. Yeah, well, I know that's interesting. I remember you telling me the results and me telling my kids, and they're like, "What?" So, what is the most reactive liquid to Alka-Seltzer to make a bottle rocket actually react?
Surprisingly, fruit punch.
Yeah.
So he did fruit punch, milk, soda, which he thought because it was already kind of carbonated.
Yeah.
And water as his base, but milk actually went pretty high, but it took a long time to ignite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And fruit punch actually went the highest?
Yeah, fruit punch went the highest.
That's sort of wild. How high did the rocket shoot with fruit punch?
The fruit punch one went over 13 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's way higher than I thought.
Feet.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the soda went about 12. Milk went about, I guess, close to 10, somewhere around 9-10 feet, and water averaged out at about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 feet.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You didn't even, I guess, and it's funny because when you said milk, like, you wouldn't think that milk would have a reaction with Alka-Seltzer like that, but I guess it does.
It just took a long time because we didn't even think it was going to, like, ignite or burst anything, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, slick. Yeah, well, shout out to him. Hope he wants to do it again next year, but if he was over it after this, he may not want to.
I think it's like mandatory. They have to do it.
Yeah. Ours were voluntary. I think the teacher last year, I think she had it as a part of their 5th grade project, but this teacher this year was like, here's information. They don't have to do it. They don't have to do it, etc. So his teacher last year was more of a science, like a science-minded, teacher. So that's why I think she made it mandatory. But cool. Well, all right. Well, from that science to the science of voicemails, is that even a science? Probably not. But here we go. I know we have quite a few voicemails to listen to this time around. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they could leave us a voicemail, and then we'll get into someone.
All right, voicemails 353-BLAKPC or 353-255-2572. Give us a call. Tell us about your wonderful life.
Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. First one up. 3, 2, 1.
Brothers, it's me, Memphis Diesel 99, y'all. I just cooked fried some chicken with some cooked ribs, spices.
Shut up.
Let me tell ya. Oh my God. But anyways, did y'all see Powell? This was a really good episode, y'all. Who y'all think shot and killed? It wasn't Tommy. In this episode, it wasn't Tommy. It was a really good episode. I think it was Tasha, Ramona, Bill Cosby, Claire Huxtable probably did it, or the girl from Family Matters that went upstairs and never came back. I think one of them shot and killed them.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, or Juicebox girlfriend came back and killed them. Okay, then that's all I wanted. That's what I tell y'all. That's about it, really. I'll tell y'all about the other stuff later. how I have to tell you about it. But I have to get to eat my chicken first, okay? All right. Did I say this, Mr. Steven? But then I'm drinking mango pineapple vodka and stuff. So, yeah, okay.
She getting lathered up to watch that Power episode and eat that chicken. That's what they call it, lathered up, man. I can't remember who I heard that from, what radio host I heard that from. But they're like, when you start drinking and getting all, getting a little too deep into the bottle, you're getting yourself all lathered up for whatever. So that's funny. So yeah, it sounds like she has a lot of suspects for the Power episode. Yeah. That's so funny. That's so funny. And even people from random TV shows that are not even closely associated with this. Oh, man. Oh, Kayla, you're great. All right, here we go. Next up. 3, 2, 1.
Y'all, this Mrs. Diva again. 99. I'm still eating chicken with the Hook Brother spices on it. Looks so good. Okay. Y'all, so today I'm driving to go see my dad. And I'm driving one way on the street. I see this truck flying past me. He hits this car, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom. I said, oh, Lord, because I can see the whole thing in my rearview mirror. So I turn around. And when I get up there, the truck that was speeding, that ran into the minivan, I don't know what's going on. So as I get out of my car, I run to the truck first. And you see these two men just fight. And people are like just standing there like, ma'am, get away from the truck because they may have a gun there and they're fighting. So I'm like, y'all go check on the people in the minivan. The minivan it's just messed up. Come to find out, the man who got hit got out of his minivan and beat the dog shit out of the guy that hit. Okay.
Oh,
so here I am saying, no, don't go near that truck. They're fighting each other because maybe one of them told the other one not to drive so fast. Y'all, I didn't told the people not to go to the truck, but really it was the guy in the minivan that got hit, whooping up on the guy. So the guy jumped out the window and said, man, you ain't got to hit me, and runs off. So then the police came and they found him, and I left. So nobody was hurt. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Wow. Okay, there's a continuation of that, so maybe we can hold our response until after this.
Okay, this is Mr. Deal again. I'm pretty sure I got cut off, but look. Long story short, I'm telling people not to go near the truck that has hit the minivan. I'm telling them to go to the minivan to make sure the people in there are all right. Because it was a minivan. I thought it was a bunch of people. But it wasn't. The guy from the minivan and jumped out and confronted the guy who hit him, who was trying to get away, and when I tell you he beat that man merciless, he stomped on that man's head, he kicked that man in the booty, he topped him, and they were both fighting. And then the guy said, I've had enough of you beating on me, I'm going to call the police. So somebody called the police, and they like, you finna call the police and you hit this man? And so it was just crazy. I felt so bad because I was telling people not to go near the truck where the two people were fighting because I thought they was in there together. But, no. So that was my Martin Luther King Day here in Memphis where Dr. King got killed many, many years ago. So, yeah. Kumbaya. All right, then. Bye.
Wow. Okay, thank you, Kayla. What is your reaction to that story?
Wow. Well, I'm glad you didn't get involved.
Mm-hmm.
For one, that sounds pretty crazy. I'm sure the video will be released online sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've never witnessed anybody get, well, no, I guess you could kind of say road rage or just what do you call it?
Yeah, that's maybe it, right?
I guess it's a form of road rage. It's post accident. I mean, nobody knows how the accident was caused. Maybe it was like something with road rage. I don't know. But yeah, that must have been a sight to see.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, the wild thing is it's on a one-way street, you know? So who knows if it was a cross street. Obviously, we didn't see that, and she didn't tell us about that. But yeah, who knows there? But yeah, one-way street, man. You know, there's you're only expecting, you know, sort of like traffic to be flowing from a certain direction, you know, in a certain way. And yeah, if this person was like speeding around her, you know, to pass her, to go on ahead, and yeah, man, it's just dangerous, just wild. And people are just crazy, man. You don't know, you know, that's why my wife always tells me sometimes not to honk at people, because you don't know if they're gonna, like, you know, people these days will like shoot at people or hop out their car and chase you down. Like, it's crazy, man. It's people crazy in these streets.
A little girl got shot, I think it was a couple weeks ago here from case of road rage. Somebody pulled out a gun and started shooting on the highway.
Oh, that's so sad, man. It's
Luckily,
not even worth it.
She survived.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even worth it, because you're just trying to get from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. So, is it really worth it to go like over the top? I mean, I think sometimes honking is okay, because sometimes people don't even know that they did what they did. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people are fully aware that they did what they did. You know, so but you know, yelling and I guess hopping out the car or shooting at people is crazy. Okay, yeah. So here we go. We'll just move on to the next voicemail. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hashtag Blackout Podcast. This y'all cousin. Memphis correspondent. Memphis Diva 99. Y'all, it's 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and I'm watching the latest Tower episode. Y'all, I'm tired, okay? Terry shot his dad. It had to be. And I can see how this going to turn out. I see how it's going to turn out. Watch what I say. And Tasha going to take the fall for it. Because Tyree crazy. There's something wrong with that boy. But anyway, I'm up washing my hair. Yeah, I'm doing a natural thing, and it's grown pretty long. But anyways, I decided to give y'all a call because I'm about to listen to y'all latest episode, I think 148, while I'm up this morning. So I shall call y'all back in a little bit. Okay, then. Good day.
Okay, so 2 minutes.
Catch up with Power.
Yeah, I know, man. She is like the ultimate Power reviewer. You know, the real talk Power reviewer. Just because, yeah, I haven't watched it. That's HBO, right?
Stars.
Stars. All right, yeah. I mean, I know we've talked about this. So.
Yeah, we started. Like I think I've gotten spoiled by like a lot of these streaming services where you could just binge watch everything. It's not like when we grew up, you gotta wait for the next week to catch the next episode, or even nowadays you gotta wait week to week to catch an episode. But yeah, we started watching the first season of Power. Yeah, and we're like quite a few episodes in, and then something else comes out, and then it's like, oh, we gotta watch that. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm definitely gonna have to catch up because it's good. I hear it's real good.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's real good.
I'd love to watch it, but I don't have Stars on any of my streaming services. So
yeah,
I'll just have to, to just smile and nod whenever you talk about it. So yeah, whenever you give your reaction to her reviews. So here we go. But yeah, I heard it was a good show, and by all accounts, it sounds like a pretty great show. So yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to catch it when they put it on Netflix. Maybe one day, hopefully Netflix, listening, Hulu, maybe. Crossing fingers. All right, here we go. Next voicemail. 3, 2, 1.
Yo, this is Mr. Steve 99.
This is 2 minutes later, by the way.
I got a little part-time gig job because, I work like 15 million jobs, doing Lyft and Uber, at the airport sometimes. And I was doing Uber Eats last year, but I got lazy. Why should I have to keep getting out of my it up and all that good stuff because I'm lazy. But they're really robbing the Uber Eats people down here, and it's sad. And one person's car got stolen. The other person got pistol whipped. He forgot to lock his car when he went to go deliver the food, and they got in his back seat and hid. And then, pistol whipped him and took his car, and and then I think it's just crazy. So I'm gonna stay in the house. I'm gonna stay in the house. I'm gonna continue marketing my t-shirt line. Shout out RydaApparel.com. RYDAA Apparel. Reaching your dreams and ambitions. Yeah. Shopify online. Cause this shit crazy. Okay then, well, I'm trying to do nothing but drink coffee this morning. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ryda Apparel. And that's wild, man. I've thought about doing, like the Uber Eats or Grubhub, one of those. I've thought about that before. But then when I saw I don't know, I guess it's different in every area, obviously, in every part of the country, in every city. But then when I saw the reviews of people who had done that job for X amount of time or who still do that job, it just seems like it's so much more wear and tear on your vehicle than you actually make. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't seem like it's worth it, even though it's weird because, like, in your mind, you're like, okay, here's this extra bit of change in my pocket that I could use for X, Y, Z. But then, you may have to get an oil change quicker, because you've hit your 3,000 to 5,000 miles. You may have to get this or that fixed on your car, a lot quicker than you would have. So it's probably just taking that money right back. So it's a good service. I think they're good services. They obviously offer good services for people who, for some reason, can't, go and pick up the food. But I decided against it. So I don't know. But her stories are pretty wild about people getting robbed or whatever. Yeah. It's sort of nuts, man.
Nope.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't do it.
Nah.
Just for me. Probably just not for me.
Yeah, it's one thing because, like, you think about pizza delivery drivers and stuff like that. It's almost the same thing, because they're delivering something that you purchase from one place to the other. But in this case, it's funny because reading some of the reviews of drivers, they're like, I had to drive 10 miles, to go pick up the food. And when I got there, I had to wait, 10, 15 minutes for the food to be done, even though it was supposed to be ready when I got there. And so then I had to drive, 10 miles back the other way, 15 miles back the other way to drop it off. And by that time, I had missed my delivery window, or the food wasn't as hot as it normally is. And, so that affected my tip, that affected my feedback. And the feedback ratings that customers give you apparently affect how many jobs you get, or the better jobs, or et cetera. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot mixed in, and it's a timing thing, with food, trying to get it there hot, and so it's fresh and all this stuff. It's sort of crazy, man. I don't know, man. It just became, like you said, it's not for you. It just became one of those things where I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that in good conscience. So anyway, all right. So another voicemail from Kayla. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey y'all, this Memphis Diva 99. Guess who in the car with me? Say hey, Mom. Hi. This is my mother. Her name is Miss Marie, and we are driving, and we're talking about Godzilla and King Kong. So Mama's favorite part of the last King Kong, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. What's your favorite part, Mom? When they bow down. When they bow down, and that's the end. So Mama's favorite part is the end, Mama. This is your cousins. I call them my cousins, and they're your cousins too. This is Blackout, #Blackout Podcast. And so I'll be on their show talking all the time and having little talks and stuff. Is there anything you want to say, Mom? How do you? My mom said adios, y'all. So we're going to talk a little bit about science fiction stuff. And remember, I told you my mama knew she was going to have some special children. And so she grew us up on all that. What else? What are some of your favorite science fiction movies, Mom? Don't be shy. Invisible Man. Say it loud. Invisible Man. Superman. Invisible Man, Superman. Wonder Woman. Mama, Wonder Woman? Okay. All right, I see we have a difference of what we like. I thought she was kind of on my vibe with the... I thought you liked Godzilla too. I do. You like King Kong? Yes. Okay. You know, she's trying to talk Papa. I'm going to talk to y'all later. We're going to see my dad. Okay, then, bye.
Wow.
That's cool. Got Mama Diva on the show.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Got the mama of the divas. Yes, indeed. Of the Memphis Divas. So, yeah. Did you see the last Godzilla?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. It was pretty good. I mean, obviously, when you get these like Godzilla type movies, you don't get like a really good story or anything like that. It's you're mostly just waiting for the action. But you know, it kind of gave a pretty cool explanation of where or the world that Godzilla kind of came from.
Oh yeah,
you know, and how he was like worshipped and everything. Well, obviously, he's Godzilla. He was like a god. So, yeah. So it was pretty cool. You know, it's worth the watch.
That's cool. Yeah, I did not see it, but you know, I don't know. Is it one of those things where like if you've seen, you know, several Godzilla movies, you've basically seen them all? Like, is that essentially?
No, I mean, if you comparing like the Godzilla movies from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, even the one with Matthew Broderick. I mean, they're all different in a sense. But this one kind of took the ones from like the 70s with like King Ghidorah and you know, Mothra, and they just threw them all in one movie.
Okay.
You know, so it was pretty good as far as like just some action movie.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I do want to see it because it had some interesting characters in it outside of regular Godzilla, but I'll see it eventually one day. That's cool. Yeah, well, thank you for that. And then she talked about some of her favorites. So sounds like a surprise to Kayla. You had the Invisible Man, you had Superman, you had Wonder Woman. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, depending on which version of Superman, I guess. You know, and Wonder Woman. Yeah, all some good shows.
Yep.
I'd say that. So that'd be interesting to hear the rest of their conversation and what else, you know, what other science fiction movies or topics they got into. So, yeah, so very interesting. Well, I hope your dad is doing better, and you know, keep praying for him to get on the better end of that. So here we go. Thank you for that, Kayla. Those are all from Kayla. Thank you. But then we have one more from someone else. So I don't know who this is. So let's find out. 3, 2, 1.
What up, #Blackout Podcast? It's your East Coast correspondent, the homie, J.L. Negro of the Don't Judge Me Podcast. And I gotta say, the conversation about intersectionality is coming off to a strong start. Part of your discussion made me think about something. And here's a question I posed to both you guys. Through your school age years, and I'm talking, you know, first grade on to 12th grade, what was that one outfit that you had that you knew you were killing them with? For example, I'll tell you mine. 95. I had this Columbia short set, right? It was yellow, blue, red, white. Had a polo shirt to go with it. And the pants, the shorts were like nylon, and it was killing them. I'll tell you why it was killing them, because every time I wore it, I got a different girl's phone number.
Right.
Anyway, went to the amusement park, got a girl's phone over there. She wanted to hang out with me and the homies and her friends, and we get on the ride. The ride had a little bit of water on it, baby girl put her head back onto my shirt on the white part, and she had that brown jello in her hair and ruined my fit. I will never forgive her for it. But besides that, I want to know, what fit did you guys have coming up that was just killing them? Once again, this is Jay Del Negro from the Don't Judge Me podcast. Love the show, gentlemen. Appreciate all that you do.
Wow. That's thank you, Jay Del Negro. And as soon as I saw East Coast correspondent, I was like, it can only be one of a few people, I think, who may have left voicemail before. So yeah, thanks, Jay Del Negro. You can definitely check out the Don't Judge Me podcast with him and Nigel. So yeah, look for that. Great show as well. Yeah, that's a great question, Jay. What about you, man? What styles back in the day? What clothes back in the day, were your favorite that
I knew I was killing them with?
Yeah.
But I'd have to think about it, but there's one that really comes to mind. When the Jordan 13s came out, I managed to cop a pair, and those were the blue and gray Jordan 13s. At the same time, Jordan and I guess Nike, they released the whole outfit. I knew back in the day, every time they released a shoe, they released a whole sports type outfit to go with it. And there was this blue kind of, it was like a zipper type. It wasn't a jersey, but it was like this zipper, short sleeve, I don't know, jacket or whatever you want to call it. And white pants, like white zipper. So it kind of looks like your pregame warm up suit. So they had that. I copped the whole outfit, so everything was just in sync and coordinated.
Was that about a $300 store trip or what?
No, it doesn't cost that much back in the day. That's I'm gonna say it's probably in total it might have been like $250. So yeah. You're kind of right.
Close.
So about $250 for that.
Okay.
And this was back in high school. I get to high school. I get to class that day. Nobody had it on. Because back in the day, you go 4:00 in the morning, get your shoes, come back, go to class. So, I just knew I was killing them with that. And I wore that outfit like, I ain't gonna say every week, but every weekend I was rocking that outfit, going to the mall and everything like that. So yeah, I just knew I was killing them with it, man. Everybody was kind of like envious of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I remember that outfit that you had. And yeah, man, it's funny, like you said, back in the day, it was sort of different because all this stuff wasn't as expensive. Even though Jordans were expensive back then, they weren't as expensive as a new pair coming out now would be. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more now, or a lot more, and there's more specialized, etc. And yeah, they would put out an outfit, that sort of matched, matched the style of some of the shoes that dropped. And so yeah, it was always interesting to see the pairs that you would come up with, and then also my cousin Fabian, who was also a Jordan sneakerhead, would come up with whenever the new J's came out. So that's cool. And yeah, and there's another thing mixed in there, which I'll get into in mine, I guess. And I, unfortunately, my parents were like, nah, you're not getting these Jordans because they're too much. I think I had 1 or 2 pair of Jordans ever, as a youngster. And then, I was able to buy some more when I was grown and was making money. But wow, I would have to say there's a couple things. I do remember one Christmas back in the day when MC Hammer pants were a thing. They're big time style back in the day. I remember one Christmas getting a matching outfit with the shirt and the pants. These pants, y'all, if you know like what salmon pink / orange looks like, so you got that color, and then I can't even remember, but there was salmon orange for the pants, all the way from top to bottom, right? And then you had this yellow, black, and white, like random yellow, black, and white design scattered throughout the pants. but with that salmon colored backdrop. Oh, I was bright. And then there was a white t-shirt, but it also had like that little salmon, yellow, black and white design on the shirt. And I can't remember what brand it was. You know, it was some brand from back in the day. And knowing my parents, it was probably an off brand. But it's still, but hey man, you know, it didn't matter. No, cross color. Yeah, no, it was the fake cross colors, whatever that was. I can't remember the name now. But yeah, I remember getting that. I remember also, at one point getting a, I guess, what do you call it? Like pair of overalls from Skids, right?
I remember that.
This company called Skids. Yeah. And the, you know, the logo of Skids was, you know, like the car, swerving or whatever, the street sign. And so these were like black and white, checkerboard or something like that, Skids overalls, and people used to wear their overalls with either one clip on and one clip off, or both clips off and let the clips just dangle back in the day. So I remember both of those outfits, and I'd probably wear them like back-to-back days, or, you know, I'd wear them like Thursday, Friday, because you always want to wear your best stuff on Fridays, right?
Right.
Almost every week. And it's funny because nowadays you think about that and you're like, man, how did I wear the same stuff like every week and nobody said anything? But that was the thing, you know, like now if you wear the same stuff, people will say, you know, people will try to clown you and say, oh, you don't have any clothes or blah, blah, blah. But back in the day, you know, you could get away with wearing the same outfit once a week and everybody understanding, you know, everybody having that general understanding that, oh, that's your go-to outfit. That's your Friday outfit or whatever it is. So yeah, man. That was my thing back in the day. I think it was like middle school. I think that was middle school. Yeah. Back then. So those were the things. Trying to think what else. I remember cross colors.
Jabos.
Jabos, Cavaricis.
Jabos that was our joint right there. And I used to, I can't say I had like one, I'm going to say I had one official pair of Jabos. And then there was like this one shop in a few towns over that sold like Jabos for like $30. And they had them in different colors, and we're like, $30 Jabos, because Jabos used to cost somewhere upwards to $80.
Yeah, they were expensive.
Pants, man.
Yeah,
but this shop sold them for like $30, and they were selling like hotcakes. Yeah, like purple Jabos and orange Jabos, and any color under the sun. You know, as long as they had the little tag across the
zipper. Yeah. And that's another funny thing, you know, because I guess this may be sort of a intersectionality topic of, you know, sort of when the clothing culture changed, because that was a time then where you sort of tucked in your shirt, or at least you tucked in the front where people could see your zipper, right? Your zipper cover, because it had that horizontal tag for Jabos, had the vertical tag for Cavaricis. Did Guess have a tag on there? I can't remember if Guess had a tag like that too. Guess jeans back in the day. But I know they had like a little triangle on the back of the pants. But yeah, man, it was the thing, and that's what people used to wear, their clothes like that. But then if you were wearing, like you said earlier, like your you know, like your basketball outfit or whatever, like your tracksuit, whatever, you let your shirt tail out, you know, you let it hang. So, you know, there's sort of like a clash in the culture. So you could either wear something, you know, and sort of, I don't know, sort of dress up, if that makes any sense, and sort of tuck your shirt in so everybody could see that style and see the fashion, see the tag, see the label. But then you could also dress down, you know, or your friends could be dressed down a little differently, and just have like the long baggy pants and shorts and shirt all out, you know, untucked, you know what I'm saying? And that would be the style. And the ladies would love it. And a lot of times, most of those companies had a ladies version or girls version of, you know, a boy outfit, you know, with a little different flair on it. So that's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, but when did that, let's see here. I know that was my middle school, you know, maybe into like the beginning of high school, maybe. So maybe like 3 years, 4 years. For me, what about you? That was what, like late 80s to I guess early 90s. Early to mid 90s, right? I don't know. What do you think? Was that about the same for you? Was that the middle school, high school era?
High school, so like late 90s. Like 97.
Maybe I'm wrong then.
Make my own money.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's mid 90s.
Other than that, I mean, I just wore whatever my parents got me. You know, it wasn't until I started making my own money that I was able to like buy Jordans on like a consistent basis. My pops only got me one pair of Jordans, and I was like 14, and that was like, no, I couldn't have my parents buy me nothing like that again. So I just started making my own money, and then I just started buying my own stuff. So yeah, that's when all the fashion and stuff came to play. Late 90s. Yeah. Mid to late 90s. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, when I had my own little job and I started making a little money, I don't know. I could have bought like, you know, Jordan and stuff like that. But I think, you know, this is the thing, man. I think when your parents at some point have told you over and over again so many times, you know, this is, you know, you'd much rather, you'd be better off spending your money on X, Y, Z than just X. You know what I'm saying? Or you can get more for your money with this and that. So I think that's why when I did have my own money, I normally shied away from it because I saved it for other stuff that I wanted. Me, mainly video games or, you know, toys or some other clothes that weren't like that expensive, or some other shoes that weren't that expensive. Because I remember back in the day, was that I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan. I liked his shoes, but I did not like him, just because I was a Knicks fan and the Bulls and Knicks were rivals. So it was always hard to you know, for me, it felt like I was supporting the enemy. You know what I'm saying? If I bought his shoes, but I thought they were cool. You know what I'm saying? Like what kid wouldn't think that they were cool back in the day? So it was wild. So I mean, I was the guy who had like the Patrick Ewing shoes. You know what I'm saying? or I had like, you know, the ponies or the Converse, man, or like the other Nikes that weren't the Jordan Nikes, like the Sea Webs and stuff like that. So yeah, so back in the day. Yeah, we will have an actual episode where we like get more into the sneakers and sneaker fandom, sneakerheads, and you know, other cultures that sort of go along with that, like music and whatnot. But that's a different show for a different topic for a different day. But yeah, man, thank you for that question, J. Del Negro. And yeah, we want to know that same answer from other people out there who are listening. Leave us a voicemail and let us know what you think about that thing. So, well, I mean, what else we got? That basically it? Had a lot of voicemail.
Yeah, that was a lot of voicemails. I think that was the voicemail episode.
Yeah, yeah, it's a voicemail episode. As we try to build out these intersectionality episodes, you know, and try to mix that into our regular everyday life, you know, which sometimes is pretty hectic. Yeah, we're just trying to build out. We want to have the best content for y'all and not just throw something out there just because, you know, it's record date. So yeah, so we'll get some of these fleshed out and actually have something good for you, you know, for the next couple episodes, a few episodes through. So yeah, but what do we want to say? There was something that I totally just forgot. So today's Super Bowl Sunday. So by the time y'all hear this, you know, obviously it'll be, you know, Super Bowl Sunday will have passed and, you know, champion will have been crowned. Jay was hoping that his Saints would be able to make it. Unfortunately, they did not. I knew my Giants weren't going to make it from the beginning of the season, so I was fine with that. But the Texans had their chance, but they lost as well, weren't able to make it. So today, we have the Chiefs versus the 49ers. Are you rooting for anybody, or you just don't care?
I don't care. I mean, if I had to pick one, maybe KC. I don't know. Yeah, but honestly, I don't care who wins. Yeah. I'm just looking forward to these commercials, if they're going to be good or bad.
Yeah, same here. And I hope that, it's a good game. It's about it. Just go hang out with some people, throw down a little bit of food, and enjoy the games and hopefully the commercials. And I am rooting for the Chiefs just because Patrick Mahomes, I just like him as a player. I don't, even though when he played in college, he destroyed my college team, TCU. He played for Texas Tech, destroyed them. Threw up a lot of yards against them. Was a great player in college and has seemed to be that in the NFL so far. So, yeah, man, so I'm sort of rooting for them. But, in the end of it all, it's not my team, either one of them. So, whatever, man, as long as it's a good one. And this time it's not the Patriots. So, we know that it will be a new champion, if you will, this year.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, on that note, we'll do a little bit of love box tapping and we'll get up on out of here. So Jay will cue the music as he normally does. Great. And we'll tell you how to tap your love box. So if you if you have constant battles with your mom about what the best version of Godzilla was, tap your love box.
Damn. If you are hoping for a wardrobe malfunction in today's Super Bowl, tap your love box.
Who's it Jennifer Lopez and who? Or is it just
Shakira?
And Shakira? Wow. Nice. Some Miami staples for a game in Miami, so very cool. I don't think they'll be doing any more wardrobe malfunction. If there are, I think they have built in enough time ahead now that they will cut the show.
Yeah,
before
delay.
Yeah, they'll straight delay it, or they'll cut it to a commercial. I wonder if they have commercials like pre-planned just in case something like that happens. That'd be interesting to find out. But I guess it doesn't really matter. So let's see here.
What Teddy go to a Taco Bell commercial?
Oh man, it could happen. It could happen. Oh wow. Okay, so speaking of wardrobe, if you have that one fit from back in the day, like J. Del Negro's combination of pastel colors that got all the ladies, tap your love box. I think those were all pastel colors. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. If you think Tom Brady should retire after this season, tap your love box. Along with Drew Brees. I think they're getting old.
Yeah,
getting up there, man.
They are getting up there for sure. But they're still playing like at a high level. Like it's so crazy. So
they are, man. They are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta say, "Let me go out on top."
Yeah. Wow. So crazy.
Got records, crazy records.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh well, we'll see next season. We'll see what happens.
Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, we'll definitely see. I had one and I totally forgot it. If you are going to use some hooks, shrubs, and spices on some brisket, chicken wings, atomic buffalo turds, which people like to call poppers as well, bacon wrapped somethings, hamburgers, your bratwurst, your nachos, tacos, whatever, for the Super Bowl or any other family celebration, tap your love box.
Mm-hmm. I sure did. I still got cabinets full of hooks, original bottle design and the new.
Nice. You got the old school and the new school.
Old school, new school. If you're happy it's Black History Month, tap your love box. If you really don't care because you celebrate Black History Year, tap your love box.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty good. If you saw that, one of our podcast pals, Random Ramblings with Rob, went to WrestleMania, and he, had the strength to not run on stage or run into the ring and, try to throw somebody into the turnbuckle. Rumble. Yeah. Tap your love box, because I was surprised, man. He sort of kept his composure, even though it looked like he had a good time. So.
And I guess my last love box. Tap your love box for Kobe and his daughter and all the people that lost their lives on that tragic helicopter crash. It's a pretty sad situation. We didn't talk about it much, but respect to them.
Yeah, it's very sad, and much respect to them and their families. Prayers for healing to them and their families, and anybody else that was affected by it. And was a fan of his. So yeah.
The world.
Yes. So, anyways, on that note, why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they can find us?
All right, people, find us Twitter, Instagram. #BlackoutPod, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Anchor, Spreaker, YouTube, Spotify. Email us topics, #BlackoutPod@gmail.com. You got some intersectionality topics that you may think of, you want us to delve into, send them our way. You can do it at the email, or you can just call us 385-3BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. Hit up hooksrubs.com or etsy.com. It sells hooks, rubs, spices. Springtime's coming. People gonna be queuing every weekend, every day. We need you to sell some of that hooks. Stay tuned for that hook soul glow.
Yes, indeed.
It's in the making. It's in the
working on the formula.
Working on the formula. Get you good and tasty, and sop up your meats and everything. Make them all juicy like.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And if you know of a good quality co-packer that can actually package the food for me, so I don't have to, take the time and go to a kitchen, a commercial kitchen, and do all the bottling, please send us a message. Let us know. Send it to #BlackoutPodcast or send it to Hooks, Rose, and Spices, because we are looking to find a good co-packer, which is basically somebody that does all the bottling and labeling for you, et cetera, et cetera. And, they could do it on a much larger scale than, a one-man show, pretty much. So, we definitely want to know, definitely want to hear from them. We talked to somebody just recently who only does little, packets. Like, if the McCormick taco seasoning packet, they just do stuff like that. And they're like, we don't do bottles, we do those. And I was like, you've seen my package, you've seen my product, why didn't you tell me that before I came to meet with you? So they're probably obviously trying to sell me on their goods. So, but... That
could actually be pretty good, though.
I think it could,
It's like, what if you could actually get hooked up with one of these restaurants, like one of these fast food restaurants, and then they make little packets of hooks so you could season your own stuff.
See, that would be nice. Actually, you know what? Cool. Oh yeah, like little salt pack or little sugar packets that go on the table. That'd be interesting. Now there is a restaurant in the Dallas area, in Dallas, called Cutie Pie's Pizza. I don't know if I talked about it before, but I may have. But they use Hooks Rub seasoning on some of their cocktails to rim the glass. They also use it, I believe, in some of the recipes. So, so if you're in Dallas, check out Cutie Pie's Pizza. I believe it's right off McKinney somewhere over there in Dallas. And, check them out and tell them that, the #Blackout Podcast sent you. But if they don't know who that is, tell them the Hooks Rub family sent you, and you want to try one of those spiced cocktails, if you will. The rim is spiked up with some Hooks Rub seasoning. It looks pretty dope.
Go in there. #Blackout Podcast sent me. Who?
#Blackout
Podcast.
Say what? I don't know them. Yeah, and then also there's a couple of locations here, food trucks here that use it on some of their stuff. The Cluck Truck that does a lot of chicken wraps and some Cajun red fries, pretty dope. And then this fellow I know named Pete who runs a truck called Dogs and Links, and he does some hooks rub pulled pork over some of his hot dog links. So it's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Links.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, on that note, guess I'll holler at you later.
Blacking out.
All right then. Peace. Blacking out.
God damn, that boy can sing.
You must be crazy.
He good.
You must be crazy.